Have a state of mind in which you can deal with the world is very important, right? If you've meditated in the morning and you go out and stuff is happening all around you, you're more equipped to deal with what is going on. But if you think that because you meditated, the world is somehow going to be even keel and everything is going to work out beautifully, it isn't so. The world is going to do what the world does, right? Which is be chaotic and be crazy and all of that. Meditating just helps you deal with it better. Have a calmer mind so you're no longer reacting to what's happening. You're no longer affected. You're no longer taking it on. You're no longer in a state of needing to, um, you know, that impatience is gone. So, similarly with a relationship, you're with someone, they're going to be who they are. If you get upset by who they are, that's really important. Super important. If you're getting upset by them, if you're reacting to them, if you're getting angry with them, hurt by them, super important. Because what is that telling you? It's not telling you about them. They're being themselves. It's telling you about you.
That's right.
And you're realizing, what was that? And you're realizing through your interaction with this person more about yourself. What triggers you? What upsets you? What hurts you? What angers you? Instead of looking at them, come back to you. Where is this trigger coming from? What is this telling me about myself? What do I need to work on? That's what being in a conscious relationship is all about. Learning about you and coming to the point where you no longer react, no longer get affected. They can do whatever they want. You're not affected by it. Now, is it easy to get there? Absolutely not. Can I say I'm 100% there? Absolutely not. Can I say that I'm able to be close to being there? Absolutely, yes. It is possible. That's the part I want to tell you. What does that mean? It means that 9 out of 10 times when something happens, someone says something, does something, I'm able to pause. And that's the key word, pause. That is the key skill you need to learn. Pause. And then neither throw it back at them nor take it in personally. This is really important. Neither reflect it nor absorb it. So to reflect it is somebody got mad at you, you get mad at them. Somebody abused you, you abuse them. Right? That's reflecting. Absorbing is you told me, you said something mean to me and I take it into my heart and I get hurt and I make it personal. Instead of realizing, oh, there's something going on with this person. This is about them. Their anger, their abuse is about them, not about me. Right? And then get curious about them and what's going on with you. What made you say something like that? Right? Not don't absorb it. And so that allows you to explore, is this my stuff or is that your stuff? And once you begin to see the difference between these two, you're able to realize, okay, if it's your stuff, then what do you need? What support? Is there any way I can support you in that? Or maybe you need to work on it yourself. If it's my stuff, then I need to work on me. And maybe you can help me. But I need to introspect and look at where is this coming from? This trigger that is there that upset me, this that angered me. And you'll realize that the more you're able to pause and reflect on these things, the less they'll show up in your life. And then gradually you'll come to a point, which we all want to come to, where things do become easy. Things do become simpler. But that's the product. That is not the process. That's where you'll arrive. You know, when a couple have been together for many years and they've actually worked through many of the kinks, in the beginning, of course, everything seems okay and seems actually wonderful. It's all la di da and beautiful. Then starts the messy stuff. And if they can work through that messiness, they will come to that place where it's actually easy and effortless and smooth because they've understood deeply. But there, to understand deeply doesn't mean that you pretend like it's not there, like some couples I know do. They're like, I just want to avoid conflict. That doesn't help. The problems are still there. You're just holding it all in. You're absorbing. That's not, or you're avoiding. That's also not helping you deal with the actual issues at hand. But the more you lead to a quality of acceptance of your partner as they are with their flaws, the more you come to a place of acceptance, then from there you'll begin the journey to unconditionally loving them. And then you will arrive at the place where everything is truly easy and effortless. Acceptance, that's the hardest one. Now, the only thing you don't want to accept is if they are going to be physically violent with you or verbally abusive. Now, it doesn't mean that somebody can't be angry. People get angry, that's normal. When I say verbally abusive, the most dangerous verbal abuse is where somebody calls you names and puts you down. Why? Because that breaks your sense of self. It breaks your sense of who you are. And therefore, it is more dangerous even than physical abuse. Because you will lose your confidence, you will lose your ability to function in the world. Any questions?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think also that like the neglect, like, it should be something like, I don't know how it translates into romantic relationships, but like someone who's doesn't like meet any of your emotional needs for a long period of time, like that should be like something.
Yeah, I mean, can tell you this that it's a two-sided coin here. On one hand, I would like to idealistically say that your emotional needs are yours to be met. But on the other hand, I'd like to say the opposite. That if you don't nurture a relationship, if you do not nurture what you're creating, okay, then it will fall apart. Like a plant that is not watered will fall apart. So let me see how these two can be interconnected with each other because both things are true. The easiest example that comes to mind is um, perhaps cake. The emotional needs that you need to fulfill are largely to be done by you. Your own ability to be kind and loving with yourself, your own ability to listen to your own emotions, to be able to be aware of your thoughts and feelings and learn how to work and resolve them within you. However, that cannot be done in isolation. You are dealing with a partner. So, first and foremost, know that if you're having a reaction to your partner, if you're having an upset, a hurt, anger, just like we talked about, that's coming from you. Okay? You're disappointed in something that they should have done that they didn't do. That's coming from you. That's your stuff. You have an idea that if you love me, you should do this. If you didn't have the idea, then would you still be upset? In other words, if you love me, you would listen to me. You would pay attention to me. You would notice me. You would see me.
So we're talking about expectations, Sam, is what we're
Yeah,
talking about.
yeah. Because that's where our disappointments come from, our
Yeah,
expectations,
yeah.
right? And our expectations are what leads to our upsets and our disappointments and our frustrations and anger and all of that. Now, having said that, it's my responsibility to deal with my expectations, to know that if I want something, I need to know how to give it to me first. So let me clarify. A child does not know how to feed itself. It needs mommy to feed it. So if you are in a parent-child relationship with your partner, you're expecting your partner to fulfill your needs. You are incapable of fulfilling your own needs. I would equate that to a parent-child relationship. That's why I think people call each other baby. But an adult knows how to take care of themselves. So as an adult, you need to know how to take care of your emotional needs first. However, having done that, it is wonderful to let go and let someone take care of you, or let go, take care of your emotional needs. So here's what it would practically look like. I got upset with something you did. What do? I first go and I take some time out for myself and work through my emotions. I don't just come and blurt out to you, you did this and you did that, and you shouldn't have done this, shouldn't have done that, and how could you, and what, you don't love me, and I'm leaving you, and
Oh my
right?
God.
Dramatic scenes.
Very dramatic, right? Um, Instead, I go and I work on my own. I go and say, where is this coming from? What's this all about? How does it feel? Where do I feel it in my body? I listen to my body. I listen to my emotions. I say, what is it you need? How can I support you? So in other words, I look at how can I nurture and take care of myself. My partner is the icing on my cake. So then once I've got the body of the work done, I then go to my partner and say, look, when you said this to me, I felt like this. I am not blaming or accusing you. I'm just telling you how I felt. And I want you to know what I had to work through. Then I worked through this and I realized this about myself. What I would like from you is if you would support me in caring for myself by doing this. I know it's not natural for you. I know it's not easy for you to sit down and listen to me talk and talk and talk about things. I realize that is not what you're comfortable doing, but it would really help me if you could sometime sit down with me and just give me your full attention, even if for a few minutes. It's very healing for me. I'm not saying this from a place of blame. I'm also not saying it from a place of need. I'm just simply saying that this would feel very loving to me and I'd appreciate it. Now, you'll be able to do that effectively if you have done 80% of the work yourself. And your partner's job is to give you the icing on the cake, that 10, 20%, where they feel. So here's the interesting thing that'll happen. If you've done the 80% or 90% of the work and all they need to do is a little bit, it will not be hard for them to be able to do it for you. The little that they're able to do will be very satisfying. And you'll be able to say genuinely, thank you, that really felt good for me. Now here's something interesting that'll happen. As you're able to receive their love, no matter how small their expression is, because they grew up, let's say, in a family where people didn't talk about things, let's say, right? In your family they talked about things, but in your partner's family they didn't talk about things. So your partner doesn't have the practice, doesn't have the habit, doesn't know how it's done. So now you let your partner talk about it, and that 10%, that little bit that they did, you're able to thank them genuinely because you did 80%, 90% of the work yourself. And you're able to genuinely say thank you. So what are they going to do? They're going to feel, I was successful. I did such a great job. Oh, mama, I'm like the superstar, right? And they're going to feel that they can do it. Instead of you nagging them, which would have discouraged them, now they're going to feel they can do it, and they're going to do it again. And if this is done 2 or 3 times and they're validated with how good it made you feel, they're going to now develop an automatic response. They would have gained confidence in their ability to listen to you, to hear you, and you would have fanned that fire so that their own confidence, your partner's confidence, has grown and they've started to develop that ability within themselves. And the result of which is you'll start getting more and more and more of that. If you can tell your partner, that felt so good to me, they're going to feel successful. Otherwise, if you're nagging them, they're going to feel like a failure. And if they feel like a failure, they're going to, forget it. There's nothing I can do for her. She's never satisfied. She's like a bottomless pit. It's just a waste of time. So I might as well go sit and watch my TV or do something else that feels good. But if he feels that he can successfully make you happy or give you something that you really need or want or that will make you feel good, he'll want to do more of it. Has anyone tried anything like that? No?
I guess that's why we all are here.
Yeah, complaining doesn't help you get there. Complaining, blaming, accusing. You never sit down and talk to me. You never pay attention to what I'm doing. You don't even notice what I'm wearing. That's not going to get you very far. Your job is to catch people doing things right, not wrong. In many cultures, they're taught how to catch some, how to find fault, how to point out people's flaws, what they're not doing. Even for ourselves, we do that all the time, don't we? We're telling ourselves what we're not doing. How often do you validate yourself for what you are doing?
That's so true. I just,
Right? Krisha, did
yeah,
you validate yourself for coming to San Diego all by yourself?
yeah, it was
You
my
did?
decision. In fact, I lied at home that I have a lot of friends
But
there.
did you
But
validate yourself for what a great job you did getting away from your your world that you're in,
comfort zone,
coming into
yeah,
a completely different world, and the courage that that took for the first time? I think you've done it,
yeah.
right?
But
Did you
no, I did
validate?
on the last day. On the last day, I was like, wow, like I was actually like, who is this Krisha? Like I was actually so proud of myself. I didn't realize like who is this Krisha? Like it was a complete change. But yeah, I did validate myself.
So that's the journey of stepping into the authentic self, really finding who you are, like peeling away the conditioning and really finding who you are, and then starting to act on it. And when you act on it, then to validate yourself. This internal process, once you start doing it with yourself, you'll start doing it with the partner and your friends and everybody else. You'll
Yeah, the
start
more you
seeing,
appreciate yourself, you appreciate others as well. So
that's right, the way you treat yourself is the way you'll treat others.
yeah,
So if you start validating yourself for the things you're doing, for the things that you do so naturally and easily, or even for your achievements when you work for something. But the more you do that, the more you'll start doing it with others. And you'll find that your relationships will get a lot sweeter, that people will begin to feel valued. And that's the number one thing people want, is to feel valued. And the worst thing is to be taken for granted.
that's so true.
But if you want that, make sure you're giving. If you want that, make sure you're giving that to yourself and to the people in your life. Because otherwise, whatever you want has to be generated. You have to generate it. If you want happiness, you need to generate happiness. How are you going to generate happiness? How are you going to be a generator of happiness? How do you do it?
By being happy.
How do you do that? Most people need a reason to be happy. Do you need a reason?
Not really. I think
Then how do you do
I
it?
by doing the things you love, I guess.
Hmm. What else do you do?
Monitor your thoughts, make sure they're uplifting you and supporting you.
Yeah. So, uplifting thoughts. What does that look like, Kelsey? What does that sound like? How would I know
Um,
an uplifting thought?
it just like it makes you feel good. It makes your heart feel lighter. It makes you feel energized. Makes you feel supported.
Okay. What an example be?
An example would be like, wow, you know what? I worked really hard. I went for a walk today, and like that was awesome. And I got some sun, and I'm doing a great job. You know.
Mm, yeah, exactly. That was a small little thing, and yet you could validate yourself. You didn't wait for something big to happen, right? You took a simple little act of going for a walk and validated yourself for that. Is that right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Exactly. So if you're waiting for big things, they're rarely going to come. But if you take the little things and validate yourself for that, then start doing it with other people in your life, and especially your loved ones. Watch the difference it makes.
Yeah, it's like saying fill your cup first.
Exactly. And then you'll have so much more to give others.
Right.
Because what can you give from an empty cup? If you got nothing, you got nothing to give. You're waiting for others to fill your cup, but they also got empty cups. They don't know how to fill their own cups. They're all baby.
Yeah.
They haven't
They
realized that they have the power, the ability to make themselves feel loved, to make themselves feel special, to make themselves feel, to give themselves the validation they need. But you might think, what's the point if I have to do it for myself? Then what's the big deal? Exactly. Then you don't need it, right? It's not coming from a need now, it's coming from a place of, that's wonderful, not from need. See, when you need something, you're not able to fill it. Let's think of it like this. If let's say Krishna said about filling your own cup. All right, let's say that you didn't know how to fill your own cup. Let's say you needed water, and there's water in the house, but no one's giving it to you. And you're like, can you get me some water, please? And the person ignores you and walks away. Can you get, oh yeah, I'll get it. And then they walk away. They're busy doing something. Yeah, 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 of course, I'll get it for you. And they walk away. It's like, can somebody get me some water, damn it?
use your legs.
But how about you getting up to get your own water? You're not handicapped. So the question here is, can I give myself the things I need from others? Can I give myself the love that I need? Can I give myself the happiness I need? Can I give myself the validation I need? Can you?
Yeah, totally.
How would you do that? How would you give yourself the love you need?
Mm. By appreciating, by accepting,
Okay. Okay. What else?
um, being in your body, not in your head.
That would be a big start. Yes. That would be a big start. Then what?
Doing the things you love.
Everything you
Spreading.
want, everything you want can be got without doing anything. It's not a doing. The things you really want don't require doing. You know the saying, best things in life are free? There's something to it. The things you really want, like why does somebody buy a fancy car, right? Is they want the, it could be the validation of others. It could be that they, or a big house or whatever else it is, right? Wear beautiful clothes, either the validation of others or because, um, what other feelings would you get if you had, you know, if you're wearing beautiful clothes or if you had an amazing car, right? What is it that you'd get out of that? What's the feeling you'd get?
Self-importance, say,
Self-importance. Okay. Now advertisers know this, so
of
they work on,
course.
they work you on this. Buy this car and you will have the you know, the appreciation of
Prestige,
everyone, the prestige.
prestige,
Prestige.
Right,
yeah.
right. They know this. But what if you could give yourself that prestige and that validation by saying to yourself, "You're such an amazing person. You're doing such a great job," right? You wouldn't have to go out and buy that car and be paying for it for the next 4 years,
You'll make everybody go bankrupt.
right? You drive this country to the point of bankruptcy. I mean, this country thrives upon all the products and all the things to make you comfortable, to make you feel good, to make you. What if I could make myself feel good? What if I didn't need anything to make me feel good? I'm not saying you shouldn't have anything. Please don't get me wrong. It's not this extreme or that extreme. I'm saying just get rid of the need to have, the need to do, the need for someone to give you something, love, validation, appreciation, whatever, by giving it to yourself. That is all I'm saying. Then go out and have what you want. You're no longer coming from the place of need or emptiness. You're no longer coming from that place of, um, not being able to source it yourself, like how a child cannot source its own food. I can source happiness from within me. I can source love from within me. I can source validation from within me. I don't need anything or anyone. But I still love to have them, the things, the people, right? But they're icing on the cake. They're not the substance. If they choose to go, go, go by all means. If I no longer have the things, no problem. I got me. This here is what you used to call a touchstone that turns everything into gold. You know, have you heard of that? Yeah, touchstone, Paras money turns everything to gold.
Oh yeah, that story, right? That
King Midas.
that's yeah, I guess. I mean, it's been really long since I've heard it, but I think he asked for three wishes, and his third wish or second wish was that whatever I touch turns everything gold. And he touched his child, and the child became gold. He couldn't do anything, something like that.
Okay, certainly backfired.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that that touchstone is in here.
Okay.
You are that touchstone. You have the ability to give yourself everything you need. And then enjoy others giving it to you. But I'll tell you the beautiful part, you will have taken away the angst that is associated with them doing it for you. What do I mean by that? There's this edge that we live on. Right now, you're giving me what I need. Tomorrow, you might stop. Then, what will I do? Right now, you're feeding my needs. But now you hold the power. You could stop. And if you stop, I'm in fear that I will suddenly lose my source of emotional nutrition. So the only way out of that mess is that I learn to source it within myself. And what does it mean to source it within yourself? One level is what Krisha is talking about, which is doing the things, you've said that a couple of times, doing the things you enjoy doing. But that's just the beginning. There's a deeper version of that, which is you do it, you get all that you want without doing anything. See, one way to get what you want is you have to do something. You have to work hard to get something, do something, right? But I'm talking about getting things out of thin air. And that is being able to tune into the energy of who you are and what this world is. This world is made of energy. That energy is a divine thing, it's a divine presence. It's in you, it's all around you. If you get out of your head and into your body, through your breath, you can begin to access that energy. That energy has the ability to fulfill you in a way no thing of the world ever will. That energy will provide you the love, the peace, the wisdom, everything you've ever longed for at an emotional, mental level. Physical nutrition, you'll still have to you have to get it from the world. Though there are some people who are breatharians and who live on air. So since I don't know how to do that, I'm not going to tell you that
Wait,
solution
there are
exists.
people who live on air?
Yeah,
Oh,
breatharians, read it up,
okay.
just on air. And when we say air, we mean that energy. They're really living on that energy. After all, your food is what gives you energy. They're
Mm-hmm.
living on the same on energy, but they've learned how to access it directly, right out of thin air. So the point I'm making to you is once you start coming into a place of abundance, you start realizing that love is abundant, happiness is abundant. Nothing needs to happen, no one needs to be there for me to experience this. Then you will stop living in a world of lack. You will start living in a place of abundance.
I just wrote a beautiful quote on this few months back.
How is it?
I need to. It's on my page. I need to search for it, but you can carry on. I'll tell you when I find it.
Yeah. And to do that, you simply need to be here, be in the body, be present, be turned inward, and you will tune into it. So, that ability we have, just as we have the ability to turn food into energy for our body to use, right? That's a very simple level of accessing energy. We
Yeah,
do it with,
I
yeah,
sorry.
go on.
I found out it says shift from lack mindset to abundance mindset by realizing that your true nature is abundant. This realization will allow you to tune into the frequency of it. Being abundant is not separate from you, therefore, it is you. So, yeah, it is your birthright, basically.
So,
That's
yeah,
what I meant.
here's the interesting part about statements like that is you're hearing it intellectually. I invite you to experience it practically,
Okay.
right? Your authentic self is abundant. That experience comes from connecting with it. So breathe, feel this inner space. Close your eyes, like don't fully close, even half close, half open, or fully close, whatever you like. But tune inward and feel this place. Again, hear the word I'm saying feel. Feel this inner space. Okay? Feel its qualities, feel its, experience it. Like you're tasting chocolate or really delicious food. Feel it like that. If you like, make sounds. Yes. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Feel it like that. Passionately feel it, right? If you're the quiet meditator type, sure, feel it in your quiet. If you're a more passionate person, then feel it in that way. But feel it. As you feel it, notice what it feels like inside. And you will notice something very unusual happening. Now access it from nature, access it on the world around you, because you'll find it's everywhere. If you need help in getting there, meditate. If you need help in meditating, ask me. We'll show you some ways to get there. I'm teaching a lot of that in that course I told you all about how to quiet the mind and access that inner world. So you'll find a lot of tools. So Krishna, when you came away from your familiar world and you came into this world, into a different experience, how did that, what was it like? What did you take away from from that experience?
What did I take away was to keep on listening to that instincts, that those instincts. Now
Yeah,
that instinct is still telling me something very difficult, but I'm like, listen, give me some time. But it's like once you start listening to your heart, it will take you to baby steps, and once you're done with that baby steps, it will take you to the hard
bigger
steps.
steps. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. It'll start you a little at a time, but it'll keep moving you up.
yeah.
Lamore, what has been your experience
In
of
which we,
of either connecting with this energy or listening to your inner voice or any of those things?
um, I'm an avid meditator, Roe. Um, and what I see, like people who meditate, like when I meditate with groups and everything, people have all kinds of experiences, visual experiences, um, all kinds of experiences. I don't have that. I have like an inner peace and an inner calm.
Right.
That's what happens for me. And when you say you go into your body, my experience has been more like this popular thing that they're all writing about now, that you don't listen to your inner mind. There is something past your inner mind that is a guiding energy, and I feel that. When you say go into your body, and you were talking about earlier, like relationships, like you pause. Um, I think more when I pause, then it becomes mental.
Okay.
I think that's been my personal experience.
Okay. Do you understand by that?
I beg your pardon?
When I say pause, what do you understand by that?
What I understand is that what you'd said is that you look at, which I see as mental. It feels like mental to me. Like
Mhm.
you look at your part in this. You look at your lack. You look at your expectations um, prior to going to your partner.
Mhm.
Um, when in this very thing that we're talking about now, when you say you go to your body, um, rather, I mean, I certainly don't understand. I certainly understand you're not in your head. You don't go to your head.
That's
But
simply a way of saying not being in your head, by the way.
I
It
beg
means
your
connecting with
pardon.
your breath, really. That is the place that you go to.
Uh-huh.
It's not a
Well, I
specific
do
place
that
in your body.
meditation. That's the first thing I have. I mean, the meditation does me. I don't do the meditation, Rohit.
Yep.
And the first thing that happens is this whole breath change thing. And
Yes.
I have that for my complete meditation every day. I have
Yeah.
that.
Exactly. Hmm. It's
So,
exactly that. That's what I'm talking about.
but um, it's I don't have I don't have well, I shouldn't say I never have because that wouldn't be accurate. But I don't have guidance every time. I'm not asking questions every time. I just go into meditation.
That's right.
Maybe if you ask for, if you have a question,
Mhm.
then your body comes into play. I think the closest thing I've come to what I understanding you to say in several of your conversations with us is when my husband and I divorced. This was big for some reason. I mean, it was sort of well. Anyway, when my husband and I divorced, and I was on my own, I can remember one evening in meditation, Rohit, I said to my inner self, and it wasn't myself talking, it wasn't my mind talking, it was something else coming from somewhere else. I think it's more like the energy that you're speaking of. I say that for feedback, Rohit.
Right, right.
And I said to myself, do not worry, my love. I mean, more or less in this whole feeling sense.
Mhm.
Do not worry. I will be here for you always. I will make the right choices for us.
Mhm.
I will be kind and I will seek out safety for us. Do not worry.
Mhm.
And is that kind of the thing that you're talking about,
Yes,
Rohit? I mean, is that sort
absolutely.
of the feel that you're speaking of?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that because that's exactly what I'm talking about. I am not talking about coming into your body in any other way than you're talking about. I'm simply referring to the breath. I'm talking of getting out of the head and using your breath to come drop in into the breath and through that out of your head.
Yes, of
What
course.
then becomes available to you is the experience of the soul. And the first layers of that are the feelings of peace, the feelings that accompany that peace. That's the first part is peace. And after that, then as you go deeper, you notice a certain kind of joy. If you just keep watching and observing that feeling that is happening inside you, is a certain kind of joy. It's not like the ups and downs, not like the big joys of the world, like when you
No,
get
of
what
course
you
not.
want.
Yes, different.
It's
Yeah.
more like it's not like these, like the waves of an ocean. It's more like the ripples on a lake, very subtle, very gentle. Along with that, if you keep going deeper, is this feeling of kindness and compassion. If you just keep observing its qualities, you'll notice all this. And if you have a question or something you're struggling with and you put it to that inner space, that inner feeling, you will get the kind of guidance you just got. I have received that many times.
I guess one
On
just
many occasions.
asks for it. I've meditated a long time. I definitely go into peace.
Yeah.
And of course, I've experienced joy and all these other good things we're talking about.
Yeah.
But I haven't experienced that with my meditation. The
You haven't.
great ripples of joy. I've not experienced that.
No, 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 no. I'm
So
not
you're
talking of
saying it's
great.
soft.
Look, again, great ripples of joy is big waves.
Yes, no. I understand exactly what you're saying.
Very gentle experience. It's a very
Well,
different kind of joy than the happiness of the world.
well, why am I missing that? Why am I missing that in my meditation,
I
Rohi?
think you are saying you experience that. You come back feeling a sense of blissfulness. It's woven,
Absolutely. I
it's
do come
woven
out with
into the
that.
piece. It is woven into the fabric of the piece that you're feeling. It's another way of saying it is you feel light.
Yes, I feel all that. I
Right.
feel the light. I feel the peace. But I don't feel, I mean, I feel the love just in me all the time. I feel that. But I
That,
can't say I feel that in meditation. But maybe I'm not asking for it or looking for it.
maybe that's true. Maybe that's true.
Is that possible, Rohi?
I I'll tell you this because I dive deeper into the feeling of it and savoring that feeling, I find that it can even be intoxicating.
The love. We're thinking of the love
Now we're
feeling now. Is
coming to
that
the
what
love
we're
element.
talking about?
Yes, the love element. It's like there's layers to this. And as you dive deeper, you will feel those layers at a deeper and deeper level. And I'm saying that it can feel literally like it's intoxicating, like it's the best drug of all. I don't mean some hallucinogenic drug.
No,
I
I
mean in the
understand
sense,
that.
yeah, in the sense of something that is so sweet and so delightful. It's subtle. That's the difference. These other things are very big and huge, and like a drug, a psychedelic drug is very big and I've not actually had one, so I don't know. I've tried a little bit of marijuana, but that's about it. But this other stuff is so. This thing is so subtle, and to experience something subtle, you have to dive into those deeper layers of its subtlety.
And
Sometimes
how does one go about diving into the deeper layers?
so it's already there. Now just start opening to the possibility that it's there and just looking, just explore. So I'm going to give you one word that will help. Feel it. You've experienced it. Now, look, let me explain it in terms of food. Okay, it might be an easier way to explain it. You normally sit and you eat your food, right? But now imagine eating like a connoisseur eats, where you smell your food, where you look at your food, where you take tiny little morsels, tiniest bites, and you maximize that experience inside your mouth. Just like you've seen connoisseurs of wine do that, right? They take tiny little sips and then they'll roll it around in their mouth. So I'm saying become a connoisseur of this energy. Start
I will definitely try that. Thank you so very much, Rowie. Thank you.
and maybe that example will help you in being able uh, to dive deeper than you've been till now.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Julia, Kelsey? Julia, we
Is
haven't heard from you. Would you like to ask anything before we wind up? No?
No, it takes me a moment to
Sure.
get off mute. No, I'm enjoying the conversation,
Okay,
and as
good.
you guys are talking, it I'm relating things to my own experience, and so it's helping me at the very least be reflective of things that I probably should be doing more of, things that I should be letting go of. So
Okay. You know, one of the biggest things that you should be doing is letting go your shoulds.
that's a
relent.
struggle for me. I'm aware. I use that word far too much. I have expectations on myself, and um, I struggle with, meditation is something I struggle with. I struggle with just being and existing with just my own self. So I'm learning. It's a process.
Okay. Well, keep coming back to the meetups. We do talk about a lot of things here. And if you really want a training in going deeper into this, I've got a program that I'm starting now called innerevolutiongroup.com. It's at innerevolutiongroup.com. You'll get the details. And join us if you feel like it. We start on May 5th. You'll be able to learn more about how to let go of all this stuff, because that's really, we're talking about really quieting the mind and accessing this place, and then going to a place of deep self love from there. We look at all the different tricks that the mind plays on a day to day basis. And just read the list of things in the details on that, innerevolutiongroup.com.
Okay, thank
And
you.
see what, if it resonates with you, just know we're there. Or just come to the meetups. Either way is fine. Whatever is feels right for you.
Thank you.
Welcome. Kelsey, anything you'd like to ask before we wind up?
I think it's a too long of a question for the wind up, so I'll save it.
Hmm. Give it a shot. Let's see. If
Um,
I feel it's too long, let me take that call. If I can't
okay.
do it in 2 or 3 minutes, then I won't.
Um, so I was just thinking, like, when we love ourselves and we try to meet our own needs, how do we kind of, I don't know the word for this, trying to say it quickly too. How do we like make peace with the fact that there are many parts of ourselves that want conflicting things, and like how do we just like, say, I don't know, take turns like kids on a slide, like one of me wants to do this, one part of me wants to do that.
Okay, I think you answered your own question.
Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah, it's like kids on a flight. Your ego is always wanting something, and you have to learn to talk to it in a loving way, because you can't say I don't have an ego, I will not have an ego. There are people, no, you're a human being, you have a body, you have a mind. The mind has a part of it, is a key part of it is called the ego. That ego has some things that it needs. Yeah, you need to fuel it like you fuel your car. Like you put oil in your engine, or sorry, oil in the engine and fuel in the gas tank. You need to take care of that ego as you take care of your body. But remember, you are not that ego. You are not the body. You are not any of this. You are the one that has a body. You are the one that has a mind. So while you're taking care of it, also remember that you exist separate from it, and that its needs are not your needs. So you learn to moderate and negotiate its needs, while starting to focus more and more on your inner world, and giving to yourself the inner things that your soul desires. Those things cannot be bought. They are not needs of that nature. They're not physical things. No doing will give it to you. The things you really need at the deepest level cannot be bought, they're not the product of doing, they're the product of who you are. They're the product of expressing and bringing out your inner self and bringing that into the world. So, anyways, if you wish to explore it further, we can raise the question. You can raise the question again, and we'll dive even further with it. All right.
Sounds good.
I'll see you guys next week. And thank you
All
so
right.
much for being here. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Good night, all.
Night. Good night.